Yes.
Okay, so your new album by VANIR is already released, and this album was recorded with a slightly reduced lineup. So why did you part ways with Michael last year?
Just his own personal reason. He lives in Jutland, which is 4 or 5 hours drive from where we rehearsed, and has a family and a job, and yeah, so just boring, practical, trying to get a life to fit having a band. So no dramatic exit or anything. And he has written two of the songs on the new album. Against the Storm and the Helgendir. He's the composer for those two songs, and I'm the songwriter. Yeah,
So we can say he is on the new album.
yeah, he is. He's in the album.
And how did the collaboration with Lasse come about? How did you meet?
Wait, sorry.
How did the
That's oh
collaboration with
yeah.
Lasse?
Yeah. Lasse actually played in VANIR back in 2009 to 12, I think, back in the old folk era. And we have stayed in touch all those years just as friends, him and I, and we started a black metal band called Lotan after COVID. And when Mikael dropped out, I asked Lasse to join because he's an exceptional guitarist. You can hear it on this album, but actually he's the one who has recorded Helgunadir. So he's recorded it. And on the next album, he will also write some of the songs and show some of his guitar skills because he's a really talented guitarist.
So did the Lasse have like some kind of influence on the compositions on the new album, or was the material already composed by then?
All of the material were composed before he joined the band. So we had already recorded Helgenadir when he joined the band, but he had some ideas to recompose that specific song. So he was allowed to give it his touch, and we liked it. So yeah, that's the only song that he has contributed to in composition. Yeah, the rest of it was already done.
And you said that the album was recorded by Lasse. So did he own like his own studio, or he has like a home studio?
Yeah, he has his own studio, home studio. Yeah, and then
And did
we mixed and mastered everything at the Demonic Studios in Demigod Studios in Portugal.
did everything went smoothly with the recording process, or were there any adventures along the way?
Other than life happens, and we got set back for half a year because of kids and jobs and everything. No other major things happened. Just life, as it were.
And what's the songwriting process in Vanilla looks like? Do the songs come together during rehearsal, or do you work on them individually?
We have like a songwriting group. Kirk and Stefan writes composes a lot of the songs. Mikael joined in on a couple of songs, as I just told. Les will do the same. But we have like a song composer group, and then they put something together. When they think it's 80% done, they send it to the group, and we listen and give feedback and criticism. And they write the maybe 90%, and then I put vocals on them, and then we finish it to 100% in the group. But we don't rehearse them before we have written the song and agreed that it's something that's worth a record. Because again, we all have kids, family, jobs, so we can't like rehearse 20 songs and only choose eight. That would be too much of a time killer. And a lot of us has 20 years plus in the baggage in the music industry, so we are kind of okay to beforehand know if we like a song or not. It's not our first rodeo.
And who's responsible for the lyrical side of Vanilla? Who created the lyrics for the compositions?
That's me. I write all lyrics and perform all vocals.
And why the title Wirt for the new album? It is translated like for a fate. So what's the fate of Vanir's?
The take on the album title is that we wanted to. It's not a theme album as per se, but we wanted to collect a lot of stories that all were connected to the concept of faith, even though it wasn't a concept album. So all of the song has like this thought or afterthought that these people went through some struggles or hardships that either cemented their fate or the fate of Europe as a whole. Like Never Surrender with the Polish hussars who beat the Osmanic siege at Vienna. They the Polish saved Europe. If you look at our perspective, saved Europe and actually created the string of fate that is Europe today. Because if they haven't stopped the Osmanic forces, maybe we wouldn't even speak the language we do or have the religion we do here in or culture we do here in Europe. So it's linked in that way to weird or fate. Yeah.
And what was the process of researching about the Polish hussars looked like? Did you like watch some movies? Did you read some books?
I found some good audiobooks about the Battle of Vienna and some podcasts about the battle and made some research about the hussars and the battle as a total. And it's tough to a song isn't a history book, so you can't put everything into a song. So I just try to pinpoint some elements and use them in the lyrics. So if you like history, you might spot the elements, but you can also just listen to it as an epic storytelling. But not it's not a history book. That's important to say. You can learn history from the songs, but you can be inspired to learn history afterwards.
Yeah, in Never Surrender, you drew like a parallel between past events and those of today. So who is the modern day Ottoman Empire against whom we should unite again?
Russia, for sure. And in that song, Never Surrender is a direct message to the Ukraine people to never surrender. And the geopolitical scene today is in a way that we can't rely on awesome Polish warriors to come save the day because then World War III will break loose. But nevertheless, I think that as in every other aspects of war, good will prevail in the end.
And David Trust designed the cover featuring the Hussar. How did your collaboration with him begin?
First of all, big shout out to Dale. But he's a good friend of mine as well, and we were in Prague and talked about what do we want for this album, what could be an awesome take for this album's visually, and I know that it's Czech, not Poland, but we were inspired by the whole Slavic history, um, and agreed that the Hussars would be the right fit for the cover. It's a great important battle, and it kind of sums up the whole fate concept of the album good because let's face it, they did save Europe at that battle.
So from the very beginning, you wanted to have a Hussar on the artwork, or was there maybe other ideas?
There were two ideas in play at the time. The one was the Hussar, and the other one was Odin, who hung himself in the tree. The last song on the album Nine, but we went with the Hussar because let's face it, mythology is fun, but history is better.
And the other single promoting the new album was about the Queen Boudica. So is that another story that can be adapted to the present day?
Boudica is actually in a kind of a way the same story as Never Surrender in the understanding that it was an oppressed people, oppressed by the Roman authorities and the Roman army. And Boudica, for me, represents the unwillingness to give up, the unwillingness to let anyone tell you what you can do and what you can't do. She was denied kingship or queenship or whatever it's called because in Roman society, women couldn't hold any status, any power, and she refused to kneel and instead killed a fuckload of Romans and rallied all the tribes in her area. Um, so again, like I guess you can call it kind of our way to speak into the whole female class society struggle in a way through Boudica.
And like you said, you wrote the lyrics for the song. So is your interest in history and mythology is more like a hobby, or is it related to your professional work, to your daytime job?
No, it's more of a passion than a hobby. I'm a project manager in my daily job, so no, that's so either metal or anything in the healthcare sector. So no, not it's more of a hobby and a passion. Yeah, and to unite my hobby passion for history and for metal is like that's what VANIR is all about. Yeah.
So is it hard for you to for example, go to the tour to leave this corporate world?
For me, it is kind of a safe space because I think I don't know if all metalheads is like this, but I know some are that I live life in the corporate world where I play a role, and then when I'm writing a report or, or something like that, I put my headset on, listen to some death metal or some black metal, and then I'm me again. And when I go on tour, it's the same. I'm me again. So for me, it's a free space to be who I am, and not a corporate. Yeah,
Right.
like I
One of the singles was also Helgrinidi. So what
am.
does that name mean, and what does it have to do with wars, diseases, plagues?
The song is the name of the gates to hell, and the song's meaning. I wrote some of the passage in the song that I wrote when my mother died, as a kind of a tribute to the actions in life and the acknowledgement that death is something that we have to accept, and not only accept, we have to know death in a way that it is something we actually don't love but appreciate because it puts meaning in life. Long philosophical discussion, but it isn't a song that has an existential meaning. That for me, hell is not a bad woman. She's not a witch. She's not evil. She is all accepting. So not it doesn't matter who you are, how you died. Everyone is welcome in her home, and because of that, it's not so scary to die. Than to just remember that you have to live before you die. So that's why the passage is like when I sing the poem I wrote to my mother when she died, says something about you have to dance to the beating heart, you have to live while you're here, but you also have to love while you're here. So it's like this existential memento mori song. You can might call it actually. Yeah, memento mori would be a correct phrase for it, I guess.
And some of the songs are sung in English and some in your native language.
Mhm.
So are there stories there that can only be told in your native language?
Hmm. I guess, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Some songs are chosen in Danish language because there is some Danish words that is fun to play with when I sing them. And I quite enjoy when bands use their native tongues. For instance, I love when a band like Kanonenfieber that they only sing in German. I love it. I think it's in his other band, Honest Dave, he sings in English, and I actually think that irritates me a bit because I really like the German language. So using your own native tongue, I think, is important. And then the Danish language has a lot of its staccato in its way of being spoken, and that also transfers well to growl, I think.
And Vanir's lyrics explore Norse mythology, historical events. What story lies behind the biblical phrase, when the lamb broke the sixth seal?
Mhm. Yeah, it's from the Bible. In Norse mythology, we have Ragnarok, and that passage in the Bible is basically the same. It's the world's ending, and we actually wrote the song as it's like it's an environmental message that we have to take care of our planet and each other. And right now we are in a state of the world where it looks like we are about to flush the whole thing down the toilet. And we thought that we have sung about Ragnarok before. Our EP Rock was dedicated to Ragnarok, but it was fun to like take the perspective of the Bible's understanding of Judgment Day and then transfer it directly into a metal song. So a lot of the passages in the lyrics is directly transferred from the passage in the Bible. Um, it was our guitarist Kirk who came up with the idea and told me, could you make this into a metal song? And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
So it's like an environmental, ecological apocalypse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And when did you first start feeling that Norse mythology wasn't enough for the Vanir, that you need to move on toward other countries, other events?
I guess after we made Sagas, which is with like the other albums is pure North mythology, I was like, I could see a pattern in all the lyrics that I wrote and in all the lyrics a lot of other pagan metal bands wrote. And I was like, there's more to story than the late Iron Age and the early medieval, because Viking Age is a made up word that the Copenhagen University made up in 1870, I think, right after Denmark lost the battle to Germany and we lost Dybbøl. We created the concept of Viking Age because before that it was late Iron Age or early medieval age. And I was like, that there's more to story than just being a Viking. And there's a lot of other historical events and cultures that are just as interesting, like the Polish, to interpret and tell people about. And that way, I've read one review where they called us if Sabaton made death metal. And I can see why he would think that, because it is the love for history as a whole that is from epitome, and this album is the way VANIR is moving now.
And at first, Vanir leaned heavily toward folk metal. What led to the decision to ultimately focus on death metal?
After the second album, our lead singer back then, Andreas, he left the band to become an opera and a church singer. That I'm frozen. It looks frozen here for me. Yeah, nice. Oh, oh, yeah, I can see you again. Our lead singer back on the first two CDs, he left the band to become opera and a church singer, and everyone else in the band wanted to play melodic death metal at that time, so it was the logical step to make. And we also got rid of our bagpipe player because we wanted the keyboards instead and a whole workaround. And then the logo on Rock, you can see on the logos when the concept changed because we changed logo as well. So from Rock and forward, we are melodic death metal.
And one of the songs on the new album is the Forbannede Are. So what are these cursed years? Because that's how we can translate the title.
Yeah, they are slang for the 30-year war. And I was reading a book about the 30-year war, and there was in a Danish history book. And there was two chapters where they talked about the war from the soldiers' perspective, but not being in war, but all the waiting between the fighting and the constant fear of when are we going to be shipped out, when are we going to die, when are the king of the church sending us into our deaths. So I wanted to make a song where I touch on the soldier's perspective and the fear of being a soldier in those 30 years, those damn cursed years, as they call them. So that's the concept of the song.
And what can you tell us about the location where you shoot the photos promoting the new album? Because it is a unique spot in
Mhm.
Denmark.
It's called Anvorskov Cluster. It's a very, very old convent, or the leftovers of an old convent. But yes, it is a really unique place in Slagelse. It's actually where I work, so close to where I work. So it was nice and easy. And again, it's history. It's a way to promote history.
And what can you tell our readers? You already touched the subject before. What is the connection between VANIR and another death metal band, Lotan? Because a lot of the same musicians were and still are playing in
Mm.
the band as well.
Lawton was there was let's me go back. There was a guy called Philip who played in Vania once, and when he dropped out, we spoke about making a black metal band, him and I. When COVID arrived, we did make a band, made a couple of EPs together because we were bored out of our asses from COVID. And after COVID, we kind of asked some of the guys from Vanir, Jon, who plays drums, and then Lasse, who became a guitarist in Vanir later. So it's like it's something that grew out of COVID. As I'm fucking bored, I want to do something creative. Band, yeah.
But Lotan is still a thing. It is still a band. It is still recording, composing something.
Yeah, at the minute we are kind of dormant because all our focus are in Vanya right now. Because it is like a Lowton is more like a side project for the most of us. Yeah.
And the release party for the new Vanish album took place at Rust on the past weekend. So how it go? How it went?
Yeah, people were happy, so we're happy.
So it was like a full concert because it's not a big venue. It's like
No,
a
no, it
small
was an
pub.
intimate small concert. Yeah, it's a nightclub. Yeah,
So it was like a normal Vanilla concert plus like the premiere of the year, right?
yeah. And this Friday we are going to play at Ragnarok in southern Germany.
Yeah, you have quite few interesting festivals lined up because
Mm,
you're gonna, for example, play at Wacken. So,
mm.
are you planning something special for this Mecca of metal?
Yeah, people have to come and see, and hopefully we'll come to Poland as well. We really want to come and play Poland. That's uh, that's on our bucket list.
Yeah, we like Viking death metal,
Mm. You have like
especially that you have like a Polish hussars in the single and in the on the front cover. So.
yeah, we hope that some bookers in Poland sees this. Contact us.
Yeah. Okay. And do you have also some what are the nearest plans for Vanir this year? What have you got in your sleeve?
We have some shows lined up, of course, some festivals, mostly Northern Europe, and we're actually already in the process of writing our next album. We have 5 songs ready already, so we are a very productive band. So some festivals and some Danish gigs here in the first half of the year and beginning of the fall, and then we're actually hitting the studios again by the end of this year.
And you've mentioned that you have already like 5 songs. So what is the direction you're going this time?
If you like weird, you will like the next album too.
And lyrical side or lyrics is something that will be come to the like at the end.
Right now, we are working on a concept of the Scandinavian Wars. Maybe we will move from the Scandinavian Wars into the 30 years wars as well, because there's a fun line to be had from Sweden and all the way down to Czech. The Swedish army moved through Poland to Czech because the Polish king was actually Swedish bloodline, and the whole story and the whole intrigue there is in Europe in that way. It's Game of Thrones with guns, basically. It's a very interesting part of European story. So that's the concept right now we are looking at. I'm reading some books, trying to grasp it. 30 years is a fucking long time to cover in a song, in 9 songs. That's a bit hard.
Okay,
Maybe
so
there's 2 albums.
so this is all that I have prepared. So thank you very much for your time. Have a good evening, and you can say at the end something to Polish fans of melodic death metal.
Well, to all the Polish fans and listeners of VANIR, hope you enjoy our album. And to all the bookers in Poland, find my email. Go to our Facebook. Book us. You want to go to Poland.
Okay, again, thank you for your time and have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.